Good morning, Paula. How are you?
Good morning, Lyric, or good afternoon, should I say. I'm very good. And
What
how
time is it? What time is it where you are?
it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And we're 9 a.m. on the US East Coast. So where are you? Describe where you are and what it's like there.
I am just outside Limerick City in Ireland, and it's a really lovely spring morning, or well, spring afternoon here. It's been a little bit overcast, but very warm for us for this time of year. I just took my cardigan and hat off, so um, yeah, I've been now 4 weeks, just over 4 weeks at home.
And is the whole country on lockdown?
The whole country's been on lockdown for the last 2-3 weeks. They closed the schools and colleges here on the 12th of March, and I'm a teacher, so I was sent home. So I'm here with my kids. They then kind of put a lockdown and closed essential businesses about 2 weeks ago. So complete lockdown now. We're only supposed to be going out for food or medication or a small exercise, small bit of exercise. But over here, this is Easter weekend, which is the weekend where everybody goes and opens up their holiday homes or their caravans or mobile homes by the sea. So they're trying desperately, our police, which are called Garda, to stop people doing that. So there's checkpoints everywhere, and
So they're enforcing the lockdown.
they're trying to. I'm going out about once a week, twice a week maybe, to get my food shopping and to go and visit a friend of mine who's quite vulnerable, obviously from a distance. We're at opposite ends of her back garden, all wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
But and people are generally being very good. I mean, they're queuing orderly outside shops. It just seems to be when they get inside, they seem to forget about it all. So I'm like, whoa, stop, go away from me.
Right.
But
how is your county been health-wise? Do you have a lot of COVID cases, or are you guys able to manage?
I think we've been very lucky. Our president, he's called our Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar, is a GP, or was a GP. So I think because of that, they were very fast to try and get things moving and, get things shut down. We have about 6,000 cases, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's about coming to about 200 that have died from it. So it hasn't gone crazy here yet, but
So your hospitals
is working, I think, and people are responding really well to it. Helping out healthcare workers and doing what they can, helping out community. So
good.
Yeah, so far so good. Society hasn't broken down totally yet.
Yeah, good. So how are you coping with it?
I was kind of excited when they closed the schools. And it was like, oh, time off, I can do things. So I am working from home, getting stuff ready for students. Because I'm in I suppose, an unusual position in that I teach in a prison full time, teach art. So I've been trying to put together modules and documents for them that can be printed and handed over to them, and putting together kits next week for them, hand sewing kits and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. But I found myself very unsettled, very unfocused for the first week or 3. So started doing busy work, tidying, and which my studio loves me for, because now I can see some floor space.
Lovely.
It is lovely, and it actually makes me smile now to walk in there. So that's good.
Nice.
So little bits and pieces, jumping from one thing to the other, and trying to focus. I'm a huge list maker. I love my lists. So there's lists, in all my notebooks, and it's okay. Refocusing nearly every day. What do I need to do? What should I be doing? What do I want to do? And that kind of changes quite fast. But even with the tidying, I'm coming across some of my unfinished and started projects from years and years ago.
Oh, that's a deep cleaning.
Oh, yeah. But it's now at the stage where before I wouldn't have done, I'm kind of, do I want to finish this? Do I have the time?
Right.
Do I want to put the time in to finish it, or do I donate it to someone who might reuse it, or
just let it go.
Or just let it go.
Yeah, I got really lucky. There's a quilt bee in my neighborhood that had been going on for 10 years before I found out about it. I was like, how did I not know this was there? And they're just mostly retired women who adore sewing, and they oh, my college daughter's roommate's best friend doesn't have a quilt. I'll make 3 for her this week, kind of quilters. And I offloaded tons of projects that I had never finished. They were all contained, like, here's all the materials for it. And every time I would give one away, like the next month, they would show up, look, I finished it. It was so much fun to see them be appreciated by somebody else. And I didn't have to do anything with it. No guilt in giving it away. It was fabulous.
The odd time when I do that, though, I do get that kind of, oh, it's lovely, I should have kept it really and finished it. But yeah, you have to, like you said, let it go.
Move on, right. Learn what you needed to. One of them I get to visit all the time because she actually liked it enough to put on the wall of her house. So that was fun. It's so nice. And it was funny because they asked me, why do you want to join us? And I'm like, I need friends who also love fabric. Why not? So, and they've been wonderful people. Quilters are the best, aren't they? All around the world, quilters are fabulous people.
Quilting has kind of opened up the world to me. Since I've met quilters, I've just, they invite you. I've been to Mexico, I've been to Canada, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Japan, all through quilters, and invites to lots more places.
So do you teach quilting professionally?
I love to when I get the chance.
Yeah.
I do. I should have been teaching in Belfast last week. Should have been teaching at the Quilters Guild in Scotland, their AGM, in a couple of weeks' time, and Festival of Quilts, the big quilt show in England, has been cancelled.
Just got cancelled.
Yeah, should be teaching there. I love the opportunity to share and teach, and being a firstborn in my family, I like to be in charge and like to tell people what to do a small bit. So
what is it about us? Yeah, we like to tell people what to do. I'm the oldest of 6, so I have lots of practice bossing people around.
Yes, I adore traveling. I really do, because it pushes me. I'm not naturally very, outgoing, so it pushes me out of that comfort zone, which is always good, and always learn so much. So. This time as well, I've signed on to a couple of, I just love learning new things and developing. And I always feel the more I learn, the less I feel like I know. So I've tried, because I have a small house and I sew very fast and make lots of work, I've been trying to slow down, because I've given quilts to everyone that I want to give them to. And I can only keep so many before, I start to have to move around in 2 little corridors in my house. So I'm trying to slow down, trying to go back to some handwork. So I signed up with a course with Sue Stone, hand embroidery portraits, looking at portraits.
Oh.
And I'm going to start City and Guilds in embroidery next month as well, just to keep that up. And
so explain the City and Guilds program, because we don't have anything like that in America. I've looked at that for years going, oh, how fantastic is that?
Well, I suppose for me is to put time and effort into something. I like to get something at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And City and Guilds are quite worldwide known. What would you say? They're a body that authenticate these all these.
It's like a guild program where you learn and apprentice and you get credentialed at the end of the.
And it's, you know, people all over there, like there's people here in Ireland do it, there's people in England doing it, Scotland, so you can register as a teacher, and now they can be quite expensive, the courses, but they're very good and very thorough. And I know it's only the only way I'm going to actually do this work is to have a deadline and to have someone tell me you need to do it by this date. So that's the only way I will get it done.
My very favorite artists, Jan Beanie and Jean Littlejohn. I always wanted to work with them through city and guilds, but I haven't had the opportunity or haven't made the time for that in my life.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about, isn't it? When you're busy, it's trying to make the time. And yeah, if you want something badly enough, you find the time to do it, or you work the time.
Right. Yeah. Or the universe makes time for you.
Makes time for you, yeah. I stick my head up my bathroom window every night, and it's just so quiet here now. You know, it's lovely. Just that peace.
Yeah.
It's like the, poor old world is resting a bit. Some of us.
Right. Right. How are you staying in touch with your community?
Well, with family, phone calls, WhatsApp, Messenger, video chatting, Zoom, Skype. We just had a committee meeting, our guild executive last night through Zoom as well. So yeah, just making the time and catching up with everyone. I think a lot of people are doing it, just making sure people are okay. And I have a list of people that I talk to each day, kind of, rotating list. I haven't spoken to so-and-so this week, I need to ring them.
Another list. That's a good idea. Before all this started this year, I used to, before we had all the electronic things, have a planner that I lived by that planner, and then it moved electronically. But just this year, I went back to a planner for my art and work and business, and just love it. And then the first 2 weeks of this thing, just everything disappeared. My brain, again, I was disoriented like you. I couldn't make myself do anything, and I've just started pulling it out again and making those lists, checking in every day, but adding the people to call to that list. I think I'm going to do that as well. That's a really good idea.
I've come to 3 notebooks at this stage is how there's this little one which is my daily everyday carry around, so that it's in my pocket all the time, that I can scribble notes in, because my old one is too this is what I used to carry around. This is my the present I got. It's kind of cool.
Oh, what a beautiful leather tooled cover.
Yeah, so that's my A4 diary, so that gets everything. And then I have a special, like that quilting one with all the quilting stuff. So they're my 3 at the moment.
Nice. I think, maybe you'll recognize this.
I do. I have a bit of it. Wow.
Yeah, so this is the notebook I've started. So I printed out my planner and hole punched it, and because I have a house full of kids, we have binders everywhere, but they're all just trashed. So I thought so for everybody else, Paula and I met each other in South Africa when we were teaching at the National Symposium there, and we had the most fabulous shopping trip ever. Most of us left with some of that fabric.
Yeah, I've had such fun. I actually have 2 panels on the long arm from some of the fabric I bought that I'm quilting. I have a whole exhibition of pieces at this stage, solo exhibition from that shopping trip. Well,
I do believe you won for the most fabric brought home.
You think? I don't know.
So I filled up half of a suitcase, and I think you filled up a suitcase and a half for sure.
Maybe, yeah. Where's some clothes left behind?
Fabulous stuff. It was. We just had so much fun shopping for fabric with people from all over the world while we were in South Africa. It was wonderful.
I wondered that little bungalow was the most fun I think I've ever had at a quilting event.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not quilt teachers, I think one of the things that we love the most is when we're at conferences. At the South African conference, they housed most of the international teachers all in one little cottage, and we had a
Communal area.
yeah, what's it called? Like a little lounge area with just a bunch of couches, and we'd gather there every evening and just sit and stitch and chat and get to know each other. And it's the best part. I mean, quilting students are awesome. Quilting teachers are amazing. I love, I did not grow up thinking, I think I want to be a quilter and travel the world teaching people how to make art out of cloth. I didn't even know it existed. And at this point, it's like, this is the best job in the world. Who knew?
I know. Yeah, that's great. I always loved fabric. I originally trained as a fashion designer, so I've always, it's fabric I love. So yeah, it's happy.
Yeah.
Or happy path. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's lovely
yourself nice soft things then as well.
What is that? Is it?
This is
like a hand stitching project.
Yeah, it's a piece of indigo dyed shiburu that I did when I was doing the quilt judging course. So there was 10 hours of stitching in this before it was dyed, and then I'm hand stitching it with some gorgeous threads I bought in Japan, and a little scarf.
Lovely.
So I have a little, I think it's an owl brooch that I bought a kit to make with tiny little bits of folded fabric. So that's going to sit there to hold it in place. And a little bit warm for it now, but it was fun stitching it the last couple of weeks, sitting on my knee, watching some Netflix with my daughter.
Nice. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say to all the quilters who will see this?
Just, I suppose, to stay safe and stay happy and try and be kind to yourself and to everyone else you can touch at the moment.
Right. Touch heart-wise, not physically, people.
Not physically, no.
Yeah, but reach out to each other and check in. And it's been absolutely delightful to see your face again. And I hope that we see each other again sometime.
Soon. Don't worry, we will. Plans are afoot, Lyric. Plans are afoot.
All right. Well, thank you, Paula Rafferty. I hope you have an absolutely delightful day.
And you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.